What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to another Fannounce Table edition of the Smark Moment Smack Talk podcast. One of our annual traditions here is to go back and watch an old Money in the Bank ladder match as we're heading into Money in the Bank, and that's what we're doing right now. Give you more information on what that means and everything else of how this is all going to work in a moment. But first, I got to tell you who is talking, if you don't know and if you're brand new. I am Tony Mango, joined as always by Callum Wiggins.
Hello.
And Rob DeFelice.
Hey.
And of course, we always want to know what you have to say as well, because you are a vital part of this whole thing. So even though you're not on the podcast, you still can chime in and tell us what you think about whatever we talk about and anything else along those lines. Discord is a great way to do that. Head on over to that and sign up for our server. Join the different channels that we have over there, chat it up throughout the week at any kind of random time. If you are on Facebook or Twitter or an audio-only platform or something, lots of different ways for you to tell us your thoughts about this podcast or anything else, including if you just hop on over to YouTube. And if you are on there, make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe, ring the notification bell, get those email alerts for all those pay-per-view post shows and any other live things that we do. If you are, of course, wanting to help us out on the monetary side of things, click on the thanks button. Same thing as the super chats, basically, just a little tip jar. And we also have Patreon, and then on YouTube, the same exact equivalent of that over on the YouTube channel membership, which is the join button next to the subscribe button. $1 a month and up, greatly appreciated. $5 and up gives you early access to content that we record in advance. And then once we get into the Darkcast tier, then that's bonus episodes. And the Pick a Poison, you get to sponsor a bonus episode and directly fund a topic that you want us to do. If you're like, man, it's been forever since you guys have done a Superstar Scores, or I really want you guys to watch another match in the past or another pay-per-view or whatever, that's what that is for. Also, pick up some merchandise on Redbubble and TeePublic for Fanboys Anonymous, Smark Moment, and a Mango Tease. Now, no more teasing, I should say. We will explain this very quickly for those that are brand new. The way that this is going to work, we cannot give you the actual match to watch on your screen on YouTube. And of course, if you're on the audio only, you won't be able to see anything like that anyway. But instead, we're going to give you a countdown of 3, 2, 1, play. And when I say play, we are all going to hit play on our respective devices. Rob and I are watching this on Peacock. Callum is over there in the UK, so he's watching it on Netflix. I got to start to get used to saying Netflix now instead of the WWE network. It used to be so much easier when we were all on the network in so many different ways, and we didn't have stupid little delays, and we didn't have to deal with the thing cutting to black for these commercial breaks and all that stuff. But hey, you know, who likes when things are convenient and easier and better, right?
The billionaires need more money, Tony.
Yeah, of course. You know, bleed the poorer people dry. So even though I am paying the extra amount of money to have the ad-free version, we're still going to get those little blips to the black screen. I hope it doesn't pop up during the match itself. I didn't test that out ahead of time because I want my reaction to be...
They never pop up during the matches.
Hopefully they don't. It's usually afterward, but then again, I don't know. Because we know at the very least that there is a little bit of a difference on the Netflix and Peacock thing at the beginning of this. So we're starting off, this is a very rare instance for us to do, unless we're doing like the full pay-per-view. We're starting off with all zeros. We don't have to tell you, okay, start off at 36 minutes and 12 seconds or something like that, because this is the first match of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and it's better to just start off with all zeros and everybody can kind of be synced up correctly that way, rather than to be like, all right, skip to 3 minutes and whatever or something, I think it is. So a little bit of warning when it comes to that. On Peacock, there is about a 4-second delay before the fireworks start for the intro. It seems like it's about maybe a 1-second delay on Netflix. So if you are on Netflix and you want to sync up correctly with us, basically when I say play, wait about 2.5 seconds and then hit play on yours. If you're on Peacock, then you don't have to worry about it. If you're on Peacock on your TV, I don't know what to help you with. I'm watching this on my computer. Are you doing TV or your computer, Rob?
I'm doing computer because apparently Fire TV has a lot of great apps. Peacock is not one of them.
Really?
So, yeah, that's a weird thing.
I thought that I had Peacock on my Fire TV, but I never use it for a TV anymore, so maybe that's wrong. That is so stupid too. I hate that. You know, again, who likes convenience? So yeah, we're both on the computer stuff. Maybe that makes a little bit of difference. I don't know, but if you see on the screen right now, you'll see like the countdown or the count up, I guess. We'll be doing that. Let me reset my clock on that front. And that's basically what we're going to do. So 3, 2, 1, play is the whole thing. And you hit play with a little bit of delay if you need to when I say play. We're going to watch this match, which I haven't seen in 10 years. It is the 2015 WWE Money in the Bank ladder match. And it's happening at the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio, June 14th. The participants you'll see on your screen. You'll see as they introduce them and stuff. And I don't remember anything about the match itself. We're going to see what happens along the way. So fire that up on whatever the device is that you are checking this out. You can see a link to the Peacock one in the description below on YouTube, or if you're on smarkmoment.com, I have a link up on there too. And if you're not ready, then pause this video right now and then hit play again and get ourselves all synced up when you are ready. But I am all set to go. Rob and Callum, you guys good?
I am all set to go.
Yep.
Alrighty, so remember everybody, it's 3, 2, 1, play. When I say play, you hit play. And we're going to do that right now with 3, 2, 1, play. So now we have the fireworks up on our screen. Now if you click skip intro, you're going to be thrown off. But I don't miss this old intro. I like the one that we have now a little bit better. Even though it continues to
I have
that
far
now
less
forever.
nostalgia for this than the one that starts with the "We promised you a great main event."
Yeah, true.
Oh.
I still would rather have
the. I still got sad. Like
I still would rather have the intro that's like that kind of thing, with all the electricity and stuff. So yeah, unfortunately, this pay-per-view is right after Dusty Rhodes had passed away, which still seeing reverberations. There's Axelmania right there, keeping it serious.
Oh man, I just saw Pat Patterson.
El Torito, a different roster in some ways than what we have today.
Oh man,
look at Seth Rollins. There's Vince, of course. You're not going to see him anymore. Titus O'Neil not grabbing Vince McMahon and getting suspended.
But also right behind Vince.
Right. Still to this day, not only Dusty Rhodes being tributed to with Cody, but other people bringing his name up and talking about how much they miss him and all. There's Rosa crying. And, Paige, of course, has said before that she was close to him and all with NXT.
Aww.
It's always nice when they do a 10-bell salute. It's like, it's not much compared to,
The theme song's about to play and Vince is about to dance. I remember this clearly because...
I don't remember this.
Just chuckled me. Like, you'll see Vince, like, tap his feet or something.
That's a very forceful clap from Vince. Very, I want you to know I'm feeling it. Everybody's kind of clapping along. Including that angry guy in the crowd. I think he's angry because he doesn't want to cry. Why is El Torito up front for such a serious thing?
Hey, Kane. Look, there goes. He's like, he's starting to feel it.
So now we're on a black screen right now, and we're going to an intro for anybody that's wondering. So, as I had said before, I have not seen this since it aired, and I'm assuming that that's kind of the case for you guys too, right?
Yeah, I've never watched this match back.
Yeah, I can't recall ever watching it back.
I'm going to try to bring up my pay-per-view predictions and my review on the website to see what I had thought about this. So apparently I had said on the predictions, this is the group. I'm definitely confused. I can understand Ziggler, Reigns, Orton, and Sheamus, so that's not weird. Neville was someone I figured they would include if they really wanted him to have a cool spot or something, but I didn't actually expect him to be in it. Kofi's in a similar position, but I really didn't expect him to be in it. He came out of left field entirely. Perhaps he took Rusev's spot. I guess Rusev got injured around this time or something. But I was even expecting Big Show to be involved instead. The downside to this is Roman looks to be so far above and beyond the rest of his participants that unless they go with a different route, it's too obvious of an outcome. Roman Reigns wins. And then I'll read my my review after we watch the match, so I don't taint my perspective. But I guess I was firmly going into this as like, what a weak group, and Roman's clearly winning.
I think everybody was going into this with Roman's clearly winning, and then you'll see why he doesn't.
This is the event with Owens doing the whole
it's Owens Cena too.
NXT and United States champion thing. One of the things that at this point now we can look back on Owens' career and be like, that was very instrumental in pushing him.
I mean, he still does dip like later on this year, but because you can't go up from facing Cena, but like he maintained a top spot.
This is the best Money in the Bank briefcase, by the way.
Yeah, I will always co-sign that.
I mean, I like when they do the like senior Money in the Bank and like the customary ones. Like those are kind of cool for their own right, but the gold briefcase, so much better.
Oh, they're using the Trump theme song still.
Don't they still use that?
No.
For a little bit, they were using the song that was like, money makes the world go around. I like that song. There's a kid that does not like the pyro.
It's wild how loud that pyro actually can be. I do advise if you're taking small children, bring them earplugs.
I'm glad Money in the Bank is like a pay-per-view that, as much as like I always liked King of the Ring back in the day, like Money in the Bank definitely overtook the King of the Ring spot as like the number 5 pay-per-view. And I like Money in the Bank. It's a fun ladder match most of the time. Even the bad ones are usually like at least somewhat fun. It's a cool gimmick. Well, it can be botched, of course, but
test that theory, I think.
There's a Money in the Bank logo with Robert Lokotar. Shout out to Robert Lokotar. I wonder if he eats corn the long way.
Ben, I do like the WrestleMania Money in the Bank just for the year, like context, and nobody plays with that. That like you have exactly a year because they always need to cash it in beforehand.
I've written up so many articles about how there's like certain things they haven't done with Money in the Bank yet. Like nobody's cashed it in for a tag title shot, and nobody's cashed it in and successfully won a mid-card title, et cetera, et cetera. But like, I still think that somebody should reach a point where they start running out of time. And it should be like the weeks leading up to Money in the Bank with them being like, remember, the contract expires in a year. And then on the pay-per-view itself, they should be scrambling to try to cash in and either fail to cash it in time or have it be like that they only cash in at like the last second. I think that should be something they should play around with.
I think that would be best suited for like a Chelsea could do that, like a comedy character.
Yeah. Oh, totally. It has to be like Miz, Chelsea, it can't be somebody like, for this year. We don't know who's going to be in the Money in the Bank for some of the spots for this year, but they couldn't do that and have like Solo Sikoa do it, because then it would be like,
I don't know. Solo's getting a little goofy. He might be able to do it.
He is getting goofy.
A little goofy.
Yeah, that thing with Jacob Fatu where he's like, I love you, Solo. And he's like, he hasn't said that in like 6 months. So this is Mighty Mouse Neville. Okay. That sounds weird out of context. Apparently, Vince was very much like, I want a
new sensation.
Did they say the new sensation? Is that what they
said? Yeah. He was. This is the point when he was branded as the new sensation, as well as the man that gravity forgot.
And then the man that they eventually forgot about.
I don't remember that at all. Like,
I don't like the Adrian Neville name because it's boring. It's like everything else. I don't like we just call him Neville thing, but I also just don't like Pac either, or Pac, whatever it is, because people say it differently both times.
Version of Kane. And not just for the person he's become, but like I hate this version of Kane so much.
Corporate Kane.
So stupid.
It would be a good character for other people, but after being the big red machine Kane, that's, carrying a hook around and murdering people and all. It just doesn't fit. This is with Alana with
Lana.
Ziggler. Ziggler's very much in his I want to be in the 80s and be a villain of a movie about a kid that needs to save the town from the surfers or something.
Very much like I listen to Motley Crue. That's my whole thing.
I'm rooting for Johnny Lawrence and Cobra Kai type.
He's not on the long tights yet, which is good.
So this is one of the first cuck stories of Rusev's career. One of like 7, I think.
Admittedly, this isn't a cuck story because in the story he's broken up with Lana, so.
And he's flirting with was it Summer? I think Rusev.
Yeah, Lana's was over. He had a hot summer now.
New Day as well.
Oh yeah, this is like we're not fully behind them yet, but they won the belts already, so people are a little into it. At least.
This is no matter what time of the career, it's very pro New Day, Tony.
Bro, they are running through these entrances.
They really are. They would milk this for so much longer nowadays. We're getting Sheamus already, and it's 10 minutes into the thing with a tribute and an intro package.
The runtime for this show is under 3 hours.
It's crazy.
It's 2:55, but it's
so much better than it is now.
Oh, they're not completely whiting out Sheamus either.
Shamus. Didn't like this hairstyle, Sheamus.
I used to hate Sheamus.
Yeah,
it was this run that kind of got me, like, turned around on him because after, he would win the title, and then he would have that run with Cesaro. So I grew to like this look, Sheamus.
I don't remember if I was liking Sheamus yet by this point.
I definitely wasn't.
I think that the bar was the part where I really started to switch over.
I think most people. Hi, Colt Cabana. Giant head. They really loaded this fucking match. Because you got to think about it. This is 2015. There's like 5 top people in this match that are opening the show.
I mean, it depends what you classify as top.
Well, I'm counting Roman, Kane, Orton, at least, and then Sheamus, Ziggler,
Sheamus, former champion, Ziggler's,
and Ziggler, former champion.
So and then you got the 2 flippy guys.
Looking back on it, you can see that he's not confident in what he's doing.
No. There's a sign that just says potentially dangerous. That's real threatening. Hey, I might be somebody to look out for.
If Roman wins, I complain on Twitter. The sign there.
Barry Ryder. 34 straight pay-per-views at something or other. The J something. Somebody's holding up a Divas Championship, the butterfly belt.
But you have to win the lottery to be at 34 straight WWE pay-per-views these days.
Yeah, you definitely have to. Each one of them's going to set you back $1,000.
Oh, poor Kofi now.
How great would that have been if Kofi just won it? Realistically, this is kind of what these should be. Everybody should just immediately start.
Absolutely, 100%. You should go right for the finish.
It's the same as how like any match should start with somebody trying to get a quick roll up, basically, if they can. And Ziggler should be the one that's like one of the quickest to get up there.
Not many positive things I can say about Orton and Triple H at a Mania 25, but I did like that first move of the match is an RKO, which is like, yeah, you should try to fucking end the match immediately.
Sheamus just very casually tells Orton, just go to the outside.
Everybody
stay out there for 7 minutes.
Fuck it, you're suddenly incapacitated.
Hey, let's start this match with Sheamus and Kane, the 2 least popular guys of this entire match.
Oh, this was full blown like entering that era of fuck the fans. They know what they're doing. Like,
yeah, 2015.
Dude, I don't think WWE ever left that era.
No. Are you saying it started well before 2015?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's ever been a time where WWE has never been in that era.
I think in the 90s they were really like, this will make people happy.
And I would argue the beginning of the Hogan era. And then everything else was just, fuck.
Attitude Era starts getting into, the further down the Attitude Era you get into, and once you get to, I guess, Ruthless Aggression, then it becomes at least 50% fuck the pan, so then worse and worse and worse. But white noise.
This is like Ziggler is kind of out of chances, but you still want to believe.
Oh, so that 10-year period. That's still somehow going on?
I wouldn't say it's still going on.
No, I mean, you figure he won the TNA title, and then now he's the tag champ. So it's like...
Yeah, but it's TNA. It's like,
it should have been me. Look at even just the idea that, like, we have the LED sides of the apron, but that's it. Like, we've got the ring posts with that little tube thing at the top for the camera. And no...
Oh, right. They're not the massive ring post yet.
Right. We don't have the security barricades aren't covered in ads that say, like, Liberty Mutual or some shit. We don't have the top. Is all Money in the Bank. Just the Money in the Bank logo. No Nashville hot chicken, this kind of something. Or
now, granted, that is a very recent change.
Yeah, but still something that's so burned in my brain. Oh, that was not good. There's New Day socks. Not sucks. Or rocks. I guess they were just a real big fan of merchandise. Yeah.
I was going to ask. They must have sold some New Day socks at some point.
Is this well before Booty-O's and Unicorn Horns and Francesca?
Not too far before.
You can come
Booty-O's is the thing by WrestleMania. New Day Crocs would be very good. I'm surprised they never sold the New Day Pops. Like the thing that they had on the shirts with the ice cream. I'm surprised they never sold those.
They're like very adverse to that ice cream idea.
Must be very hard to do because they just do not want to do it.
Yeah. I want my goddamn WWF ice cream bars, just like CM Punk. Those were so good. I want the equivalent of being like, I got Macho Man, I got Warrior, you know.
It'd be, I got Punk, I got Cena, I got Roman Rollins.
Oh man, I got Ivar. Ivar's cool. I don't know why I picked Ivar. Who would be the disappointing one on the roster?
I guess they would try to say it's like Dom.
I got Danny Palmer. Danny Palmer, by the way, gets that because of her personal stuff.
I also think that's what they said when they fired her.
No, they would her for the personal stuff.
Well, they might.
They're in bed with the same awful people. Nope.
I like to think better of Sean.
These matches, of course, always featuring the spots where somebody sets up a ladder just so somebody else can use it.
Yes, yeah. See, that's smart. If this was like live, I'd be going, go Kofi, go.
Yeah.
Six? He's already in 6 of them?
Just pushing the ladder into the center to make it a little bit easier for everybody. Of course, comparison roster back then versus now. Sheamus, still on the roster. Randy Orton, still on the roster. Roman, still on the roster. Barely shows up, but he's there. Kofi, still on the roster. Currently a tag team champion, just as he is here. Neville is Pac over there in AEW and injured, but would have been still holding the trios titles, at least until, a couple weeks, month or so ago. And Kane, we don't talk about Kane and Ziggler and TNA. So even though it's 10 years,
a mayor and his politics suck.
Yeah.
That's
God, that always seems like that would hurt so much.
I mean, 10 years is nothing now in professional wrestling.
Yeah. But if we were to go back, the difference between 88 and 98, drastically different.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and 98 to 08. Not as different as 88 to 98, but still very different. Looking at it now, though, again, Reigns doesn't even seem as physically imposing as he would become. You know what I mean? He looks smaller.
No, I wasn't given access to Hunter's stash yet.
Although I guess he does fail a drug test, a year to the day after this. So maybe he's aware of that.
Also, some of this stuff is a little bit harder to kind of decipher the difference between eras, because you reach a point too when it comes to just the way that HD cameras are and everything. They're using the WWE logo that we know now. The Money in the Bank logo is the one that popped up on the screen. It's one of the versions that they use now. They just slightly tweaked it. Briefcase is different, sure, but the quality of this is no different than what we get now, basically. As opposed to being super grainy.
By how bright it is. As it goes on in years, it gets brighter.
Yeah.
Although next year's Money in the Bank will be different. It's all New Orleans out.
But then you got on commentary, you got Jerry Lawler. Yeah, we don't have him on commentary anymore. Not a great RKO, but does get the job done.
Well, it's Kane, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kane was I'm not
going
all the way down.
That's bad enough I having to climb up a ladder at this point in my career, not selling an RKO.
Randy Orton even now looks massive compared to this, but he's still in the same position on the card, just, tenured babyface.
He's just holding that for Neville. Nice.
Just so he can do. Yeah.
And Orton, over the years, gets even more enthusiastic about, fuck yeah, I hit that.
As he gets older, he does, yeah.
He just starts going I'm having a lot of fun. He does that thing where he pumps up his fist at the one RKO. I forget which one it is. It's the Rollins one, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's the Rollins one where he does the whole fist in the air, kind of hell yeah, I got that one.
It's not quite the one where he does the splits after hitting it on Mark Henry in 2011.
That is the best Randy Orton RKO ever. Woo!
Evan Bourne one, still my favorite.
I think the Rollins one, just because you just didn't see that coming.
Let me just swing it out of the way.
I love how everybody forgets how to grab things in these matches.
Right. There's this writer's term called the idiot ball, where I believe it was Herman's Head is where it comes from, where the writers would be who's holding the idiot ball today, and who's going to be dumb in this episode. And man, you go into a wrestling ring, you are holding an idiot ball.
You put on a referee
as a referee, suddenly you don't see things happening. Last night, even Vikingo blatantly in front of the referee interferes and costs Chad Gable, and the referee's just nope, didn't see it. Blinded both eyes.
He could do that. He could do that.
Oh yeah, it's triple threat. Okay, so I'll give that referee a little bit more credit. There's a sign that says "Show no simpy at all." SYMPY.
Scott Steiner reference.
Always cool when you see those. Not as many signs even compared to 2015 nowadays.
They're doing more.
It used to be so fun to just have blanketed with signs.
Why? You want to see more signs about people eating corn the long way?
Still get my favorite one that I remember of the Jason is gay for life.
my thing, I will always want that to be from Jason. That's just coming out party.
Yeah. We support you, Jason.
I am gay for life.
My wife still brings it up every once in a while. She's like, I wonder what Jason's up to.
Whatever it is.
Why has Ziggler got chains on his trunks?
Because he listens to Motley Crue.
Is that the bandana? The reason for the bandana as well?
Yeah, that 100%.
This is pretty dangerous.
He just wants to be like, this is my thing. By the way, they're coming off of a Kiss My Ass match at Elimination Chamber, I believe, or was it King of the Ring? One of the two.
Not a fan of those. There's crowd sign. It says the Red Rooster Sheamus. It's cock of the walk. Are we gonna get a red arrow?
Red arrow.
Yeah, not black arrow. That's still such a fucking.
Oh my
cool
god,
move.
that's the new sensation.
I don't know how he twists his body like that.
The Altitude Era. God.
Yeah, they did have him. That one I remember. They did have him say that on TV.
Why'd they give this guy so many nicknames?
They really wanted him to be something, and they just didn't let him just wrestle.
We really want you to be something, but we don't want to give you the push that actually will coincide with it.
One of the things that's different now, even from then, which is crazy, because we thought back then it was becoming a work rate era. Like, you'll get matches like Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor on a Raw for 30 minutes. Neville would have thrived in that more era. I forgot they used to show the tweets. We don't need tweets paying homage to Dusty Rhodes. I mean, we love Dusty, but like, people are trying to watch the ladder match.
What was the main event for this episode? Or for this pay-per-view?
Rollins
Dean
and
versus
Ambrose.
Seth, yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. Because I'm like, man, they're starting off with Money in the Bank. And then that's kind of like, you have to have
Was
something.
that also a ladder match?
Yeah, it was a ladder match. Yeah, it was the main event. Yeah.
I'd rather be
Obviously,
watching
this was
that.
the only Money in the Bank match on the show because there's no women's one at this point. So
Yeah, that's true.
Not far away from it, though. What are they, a year or two?
Two, I think? 2017?
Yeah, it was the first one.
Yes, that's crazy.
On the SmackDown only Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Well, think about that. Like, we're like a month away from the legendary Sasha Bailey match. Like, NXT's on the rise. He was still doing those really well.
They climb up the two opposite sides thing? Nope.
No, I decided they're gonna.
Nah, they're just gonna double team against Kane.
Kane. Yeah.
Never mind.
Oh fuck!
God, that's such a terrible boot as well. Barely got his feet up. Get his foot up above his knee.
What? Kane doing a fucking...
I thought he was gonna jump out the ring first.
Me too. Hey, remember this from the Royal Rumble a few months prior?
No, this
and pretty much every episode of Raw between then and now.
God, it was so frustrating. Even as somebody that was like, I want them to push Roman in this way, it was still frustrating as all hell.
He's gonna dive. He's gonna do it. That's a good dive. You can't. It's just a good dive.
I always think it's so weird when people do dives to the outside or flips to the outside or whatever, and they crash into their own tag team partner.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And there's Conrad in the crowd.
I would believe that he's got enough money. Oh yeah, I see him. He's not doing the show with Bruce.
Oh, and there's Brock Lesnar guy in the background.
And at this point, it's like, well, we're never going to see Kofi as WWE champion. And eventually, he does.
Guys, help him set up the ladder. I don't know why
they're playing defense.
I didn't realize that how if they really wanted to get this new heel version of New Day act over, Woods needs to shave the goatee. He looks so much more hateable without a beard.
Without facial hair. Not Roman. Kofi, just grab it. If you grab it and pull it off, they can't fire you.
It'd be funny if this is the whole rest of the match. It's just Roman trying to get the legs and Kofi kicking him away. It just happens like 11 times in a row.
Not the best Money in the Bank in any way so far.
Pretty good powerbomb.
Randy's behind you.
Setting up that camera angle.
Yep. He's going to push him off spear.
Superman punch? No, there you go.
I've seen wrestling before.
It's so funny how you watch enough wrestling and you do train yourself to just sort of be like, you can feel it in the air when they're going to be like, not to reversal. Like,
anyone but you, Roman.
Why? It's okay. We're during this era. Of course, updates to the roster. Bray Wyatt no longer with us, unfortunately, either.
Oh, he's already wearing the butcher smock.
Is he going to do some baking later?
I don't know. Where's Huskus?
But why? The eternal question of the Wyatt family run.
Oh, is this when they're all split still?
I think so.
Yeah, and they're going to get back together slowly because of the Roman feud. I remember being so excited for that.
Oh yeah, because this is Strowman's introduction at SummerSlam, isn't it?
Yeah, either SummerSlam or the night after. Because
the build up to that show, yeah.
Because it's Roman and Dean against Harper and Bray.
Yeah.
That's depressing. Jesus Christ. I remember thinking, like, really, this is where we're going?
You get one little brief moment of Neville being like, maybe the guy that gravity forgot can climb up the ladder.
I'll give them credit. They know who to send to get the fans excited because it's like, I'd much rather see Neville.
To completely dash their hopes before it
to piss them off.
Yeah.
Not the coolest ending either of just like raking somebody's face and pushing them.
Was spectacular. I have to tell you, this was very, very bland.
But now, credit where it's due. You show this to somebody in 1980 something, they just like evaporate out of like how fucking amazing this is. But you watch 100 fucking ladder matches in a row a year or whatever, then you get to the point where you're just like, if I want to watch a better ladder matches.
As crazy as it is, it's still just a formula.
Yeah.
That's a nice gradient for the names.
Not Sheamus' best theme, not his worst.
I wonder if you're a vet like Randy at that point, and you're going into, or even Kane, and you're going into a ladder match to not win it, to not even like have like a cool spot. You're just another guy. You gotta be pissed. You gotta be like, A ladder match? Really? Like,
I gotta go beat my body up for somebody else to win. Yeah.
Oh, they
I
were
remember-
barely in the ring for like for nothing. They didn't take any major ladder bumps or anything.
that's also true. I just remember like Michaels and Jericho talking about being uneasy about their match in '08, and then Vince promising them you'll never have to do it again, and then a year later going, all right, so you're going to do a TLC.
So Simon's in the crowd, but not green shirt guy. Talisa. So apparently my review of this on smarkmoment.com at the time was, I guess this was when I was writing out thoughts during the pay-per-view matches. I said, wow, this match is going first. Even match so far, Roman Reigns, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I was like actually given the whole like breakdown of that. Don't need to read all that. I eventually said, rather underwhelming overall. I'm disappointed in the outcome too.
Knowing what you would go on to feel about Bray Wyatt, I just imagine that you hated this in every single way.
I probably was like, Sheamus wins. Bray Wyatt's out there. They're not going to give it to somebody cool like Kofi. Yeah, I probably was disappointed in a lot of ways.
Oh, they're trying to don't try this at home. They don't do this anymore, thank God.
Apparently my critique of the whole pay-per-view was that it was just like
average,
mostly disappointment. It wasn't horrible, but it was by no means worthy of anything above a middle score. This is when I was doing a 3-count thing: 1 count, 2 count, 3 count. So this got a 2 count. High spots being Owens and Cena, Ambrose, Rollins, and the Bella Twins ending. Low blows being primetime players win titles, Sheamus wins Money in the Bank, and DQ ending for IC title match. Yeah, sounds about right off the top of my head.
I gotta say, I'm now curious what the Bella Twins did.
Bella Twins, let's see. Paige pinned Brie for the win, and then it was like the twin magic thing, I guess. But then I have a note that says, did anyone else crack up when Brie pulled out the tissue paper that she used to stuff on top?
Okay. Yeah, because Nikki had just gotten the implant, so Brie now has to
stuff it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that being a huge highlight for you.
And be like, all right, that's pretty funny. And then
wow, the Intercontinental Championship match on this show was Ryback and Big Show. That's
terrible. Feed me more. So obviously we are now past the match itself. We are on page doing that. We're not watching the whole pay-per-view here. Of course, if you want us to go back and watch the rest of this or something, the Pick Your Poison is the way to do that.
Please do not.
I'm not particularly interested in doing it, but that's what you get the option to do. If you want to force us to in that front, then, keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and mute my feed right now because I don't need to hear Paige's promo. I'm sure she says, this is my house and whatever. Paige here. And, we've got the option as well of going back and rewatching the 2005 Money in the Bank ladder match. We had done that before on Smark Moment where it was myself and I believe like Wago and Kaylin or Kaylin and Angie or something along those lines. But the three of us had not watched that. So if you want us to go back and check that out, then let us know. That could be either a bonus episode through the Pick Your Poison, or that could be something as like a dark cast or something along those lines. And we are going to obviously be covering Money in the Bank 2025 when that comes around in like no time at all, because we're on like this onslaught of pay-per-views happening. But in the meantime, we do have one more podcast coming your way this week, at the very least, with the hot tags. And we might do at some point the dark cast that'll lead into June. We might just wait a little bit for that too, where we go back and do our Mount Rushmore stuff for the baby faces. So stay tuned for those things. Make sure you are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Make sure you are checking out all the promotional stuff I mentioned before on the Marketplace stuff on the graphic. Make sure that you are also checking out the link tree that you can find at amangotree.com, or anthonymango.com. Same list of a bunch of different accounts of mine that you can follow for fanboys and Smark Out Moment and all. And if you are clicking around on stuff and you want to follow all of us personally, my stuff is mostly at Tony Mango, but follow Robin Callum too.
Yep, you can follow me everywhere at Dude Felice. You can check out the work I do on Fightful.com, and you can check out what Callum has going on as well.
You can follow me on Twitter at Blue Sky at Wigmeister14. Follow the Power Rankings over on smarkoutmember.com, where I rank the WWE superstars based on their prior week's performances. And head on over to the Fantasy League there as well, also at www.fantasyleague.com, to see how our rosters and teams are doing as we head into Money in the Bank, the next big show, to pick up a load of points in. So follow along there.
Okay, everyone. So we are done with this episode, and we want to thank you for listening to this and for your comments below and for your support on whatever avenues that you are supporting us. Thank you for all that, and we will see you next time. But for now, this has been another Smark Out Moment, and we are being counted out.